Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the results for my More Lol Spotlight Hour with ×2 Stardust. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the Kyurem here so we can have better chances to catch them while we have the Go Plus on, right? And then we're also going to have cloudy weather. No, is it cloudy weather? Yeah, it is cloudy weather, which is going to be increasing the Stardust even more. So we're looking at 1875 for that catch. That is incredible. So for the remainder of the time, I am going to let the Go Plus Plus, this is going to be a modded one, so it's going to be catching with Ultra Balls, okay? I also have a star piece on, and then I did turn on Groudon's Mega, just so I can get extra candies, just because, why not? Now, I do have it on Necrozma here, I don't know why, but we're going to be going off that in a minute. Now, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Pokemon you want to power up by request here. So, briefly, we're just going to go over here briefly, right? We're just kind of look at the types. I'm going to tell you the best one and then an alternative that's not going to cost you as much. For this one, Lucario, kind of an alternative. Then you have Mega Heracross, also pretty common for you to be able to get. I guess you also have Conkeldurr, but then you do have Shadow Machamp. Shadows are going to obviously cost more, right? So I'm going to try to focus on these a little bit more. So enjoy the Stardust gains, and we'll go over to the more low candies here in a bit. For flying, we do have Mega Rayquaza. For the alternative, I guess you can have Mega Salamence. Taking a look at the rest here, I guess Shadow Staraptor, and yes, the bottom part is going to be covering the last two. That's just the way it goes. So I'm pretty sure you can guess what moves they have. So yeah, so Mega Rayquaza, then Mega Salamence, then I would say maybe Shadow Staraptor, but that thing is so squishy. I don't know if you really want to do that. For the Ghost, or no, this is Poison, we do have Mega Gengar, which is kind of a budget already because it's not that difficult to obtain, right? And then you do have Roserade, which is going to be amazing, Swiss Army Knife, all kinds of types. And other than that, I have a Shadow Toxicroak, which I don't know if I want to max it out, but it definitely will be fun to finally see it do something, especially in the top here. And then you do have Beedrill as well. Beedrill is another easy, accessible one to get for Poison. For Ground, we do have Mega Groudon, which is not that accessible if you do not do all the raids. Mega Garchomp, which could be as well. Moving it down the list here, we do have Shadow Rhyperior and then Shadow Excadrill. So Shadow Excadrill is, pretty easy for most people to get, especially with the events we do have. It's going to be a little bit expensive to invest, but definitely worth the power up. But you may want to consider the Dynamax version for that there. And then moving it on, we do have Rock, which we do have at the top, Mega Shadow Rhyperior. Okay, looking pretty good. And then you have Mega Tyranitar. Alternative is going to be the Rhyperior. I know it's going to cost more, but you do have it at number 6 with the same moves. And then let's see, a cheaper one. No, that's going to be probably the easiest one to obtain, which is going to be Rhyperior. And then Mega Tyranitar. Larvatars are pretty accessible when we do have events, so you do have that there too. So there you go for the rocks. I'm just brushing over these fairly quick here, folks, okay? It was by request. I already did it, but I'll just do it again since we're getting all this Stardust with the Gigantamax Snorlax and now this event, so this is what you may want to power up. Then we do have for Bug, Mega Heracross, Mega Pinsir. The alternative are Mega Pinsir, I guess, and Mega Beedrill. That's going to be your budget one there for sure. And then you do have Mega Salamence with Fairy Cutter. That's nuts. That's insane. That just shows you the power of those Megas there. Moving it on to Ghost, we do have Dawnwing's Necrozma at the top, of course. The budget is going to be Gengar. And then moving it down, you do have Chandelure if you did participate. That's going to be Shadow if you did participate in the Community Day, I suppose. And then you do have Mega Bayonet, which is also going to be another budget and doing fairly well for you too, and easily accessible. But Gengar is going to be pretty awesome for you to have because it is going to be kind of like that Swiss Army knife for Poison if you do need it as well. Again, you probably want to invest in the Gigantamax version of that Gengar though, and then Dawnwings is just goes without saying, the thing's amazing. Moving it on to Steel, we do have Duskmane Necrozma at the top, of course. And then for the budget one on this, I suppose it's going to be Shadow Excadrill with that Metal Claw and Iron Head. You could also go Metagross if you do have enough candies for those. I have several of those shadows powered up. And I do have a maxed out Shadow as well. I'm working on getting that to Best Buddy, and we will be getting that Mega for Metagross in the future, so that wouldn't be a bad option for you. But budget is going to be Excadrill. And then moving it on to Fire, we're going to be seeing Charizard at the top, Mega Y, and that's kind of already your budget right there, and being at the top is kind of a fun one, so pretty much anybody can get access to one of the best. I know Charmander can be a pretty rare thing to spawn, but we do have a lot of events revolving around it. Fire budget number 2, I mean Mega Blaziken, I suppose. Everything else is going to be a little bit difficult to obtain because they're going to either be a legendary or, yeah, that's pretty much it. So Mega Charizard Y and Blaziken there. For water, we have Primal Kyogre, and then this one's going to be easy. Mega Swampert, that's going to be your budget, easy to access for access. And then you have Mega Blastoise and then Mega Gyarados as well. And then further down the list, you have the Shadow Swampert, Shadow Feraligatr, Shadow Empoleon, and Shadow Samurott. Wow. So you have those Megas at the top, which are not difficult to get, especially Swampert and Gyarados, especially with the event coming up with those Magikarp candies. For grass, we have Mega Sceptile, which is going to be your budget already. Then my boy Venusaur, another kind of budget, easily to access Pokemon. And then moving it down, you do have Tangrowth, which is going to be a little bit, expensive. And then Shadow Venusaur, pretty expensive. You probably want to go the route of just regular Venusaur, unless it's like 100 or a 98, in which case I'd max it out. Mega Glade with, assuming Leaf Blade, and if you have one of those powered up, then great. Moving it on, Electric, we do have Shadow Raikou at the top. That's not too much of a budget there, is it? Mega Manectric, I suppose, is going to be pretty budget friendly and easy to access. I think it keeps easily accessible. All right. And then Mega Ampharos, I suppose. Shadow Magnezone. But yeah, Mega Manectric, you're going to kind of have to make good investments in some of these. The budgets some of them are not that great. Mega Manectric, not too good. Psychic, you have Shadow Mewtwo. That's not cheap. But what is cheap is going to be Mega Alakazam. Okay, so you're going to need that Legacy Psychic to go with it there. It's going to cost you an Elite Charge TM if you don't have one of those. But then you do have things like Mega Glade, regular Mewtwo, Mega Gardevoir, which are pretty accessible for sure. So there you go. Psychic Pokemon. Mewtwo is pretty much what you want to invest in, right? And then moving it on to Ice here. Number 1 is actually going to be Kyurem White. Okay, it's just not on the list here, but Kyurem White obviously is going to be number 1. Then you have Shadow Mamoswine, not too budget friendly. Kyogre there. Okay, what's the budget on this list? I'm going to have to say Mega Abomasnow. That one is definitely going to be easy to obtain for sure. Yeah, but when it comes down to this, you want to power up as many Kyurem Whites as possible. I mean, especially if you want to do it with its least people, or even worse, if you're by yourself. Moving it on to Dragon, of course, we do have Mega Rayquaza, and then Mega Garchomp. Again, another Pokemon that you can have access to that's not too difficult. That Gibble there for certain events if you've been around for a while. Aside from that, Shadow Salamence, I powered that up. The thing's so squishy and it's not cheap. You're looking at Mega Salamence too as well, so there's your accessible Pokemon for the Dragons. And then moving it on to Dark, we do have Mega Tyranitar, which should be something everybody is starting to build up at this point. Mega Houndoom as well. You should have a ton of candies for those. I have one of those maxed out. Love using that thing. It's a little unfortunate when you have things that are just a little bit better, and then you just have to Mega Evolve that, and then your other one that's just kind of sitting in the dark all the time. Fairy, you have Mega Gardevoir, which is going to be something a lot of people should have candies for. Aside from that, it's not looking too great. Everything's going to be looking like mythical and legendary. But there you have it, folks. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. And then moving into Kyurem Black and White, I mean, they just dominate with whatever charge move they have on there. They're just going to go to town. Kyurem White's your best ice type attacker. We all know this. And then, its side moves are just going to absolutely destroy as well. For Kyurem Black, same kind of deal. The thing's absolutely amazing. But there are your Pokemon suggestions as requested. So hope you did enjoy this video, and I hope you did get a bunch of Stardust during the Spotlight Hour. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Take care.